And you guys recorded with Kurt Ballou.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
We recorded all the music with him, and then recorded the vocals ourselves, and then he mixed it.
okay. So tell me about that experience, because I've always wanted to record there, never got the opportunity to. I've never really even met him, so it's just like that's what dream place for a lot of bands.
Dude,
he curls his hair a lot like this, and he looks at you, and he's very thoughtful, and then he'll make like a dry joke, and it usually is about like some vegan shop in Salem that we got to try or something. So that it's kind of like that.
Like Studio Dad.
He's definitely a studio dad for sure.
No, he's
a guru.
We fell into a rhythm of comfortability with him like immediately. I kind of had a little bit of a like, who's Kurt Ballou, like for a minute.
Oh, I definitely
because well, yeah, Jane Doe was one of those records that was very similar to Calculating Infinity by Dillinger, where it was that formative, like I was like 12 or 13 or something, and those records were really big for me as far as, you know, changing the way my brain worked, I think, a little bit.
for sure.
And I was chasing that high of like, oh, why can't all music be like that stimulating? But then, yeah, Ben and I got in a call with him before we made any plans or anything. It was actually Dante's idea to record there. And, yeah, it was just like super comfortable. I mean, there's a lot to say, but yeah.
Yeah, like we had a
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we had a couple ideas for different people we could work with. And I was never like a Converge like fanboy. Like I just never, so I was just looking for somebody who was just funny, honestly, like because I'd recorded multiple times, and it can kind of be a cold environment where it's just like, all right, you're just the next band in here, get through your shit, get out. And I was like, I just want somebody who's like fun to be around. And like what sold me on Kurt, we had a call with him, dude. He's like fucking hilarious. Like he's so funny, and like the whole time he's like cracking jokes, and we're cracking jokes, and he's laughing. And yeah, so I think for me, that's where I was like, all right, I think we're gonna have a good time with this guy. And yeah, he's just very relaxed and very easy to work with, which that is what I was looking for. And he Kurt understands a band who is not looking to like make like a super quantized, pitch corrected to hell record. He understands what we were going for, which was like, we didn't just want to make like a raw record with like no production. Like we wanted production and engineer with expertise, but he also understood we were looking for like a pretty raw rock and roll sound. And I mean, he's fucking amazing at that. There's nobody better, really.
I'm so glad to hear Kurt's funny. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, he has the driest sense of humor, and it's the best. Like he'll just come out with the wildest shit. She just should like a Mack truck.
It does matter. It does matter too, like because recording is stressful. You're under a time crunch, and it's like, especially the build up to this record was so obnoxiously long, and so by the time we're in the studio, it's sort of like, you can overthink something, and just to have it be a lighter process definitely helps. We obviously worked hard and everything, but yeah.
I mean, you work on these songs for so long, and you have like these expectations of what it's going to be, and then you finally get in there and it's like, it's here, it's got to be great. So those nerves just by themselves can affect you. So to have someone breathing down your neck in a shitty atmosphere, that would suck.
Yeah
definitely.
Has several anxiety attacks during that session.
So how much did he like do like producing with you guys, like helping you mold the songs? Was it mostly just recording, or did he have some input on helping arrange things? Or
there's a Kurt Ballou original in there a little bit here and there, but he said it, I think, at the end, where I think it was his way of being like, yeah, you guys like push back or whatever, but he was like, yeah, you guys basically produced this. because we had a lot of ideas, and some of them, I look back and I'm like, I should have listened to Kurt. I don't know what I was thinking. I had this idea in my head, and I learned a lot during that. But yeah, there's some ideas in there that were completely his ideas that I'm really glad we put in there.
Oh, they're just like little flavors or spices he would add. Like the songs were all done, but he would be like, "Oh, like maybe add this guitar swell here," or things like that. Where we hadn't thought, when we heard it back, it's like, oh, and then listening like maybe a few times, it's like, oh, that's actually really dope, But yeah, but we were. I mean, we intentionally we demoed this album like 3 times, so that by the time we got there, we wouldn't be writing anything. We'd be just bam, 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 because we didn't want to waste any money. So the songs were all done, the ideas were all done, but he definitely added some really cool like ear candy that So yeah,
That dude's a big fan of ear candy. And so happy, like with
Yeah.
a lot of certain things, like the rain sticks. Whose idea was that? Was that his?
I think
no, that was. I mean, Mike had the rain stick, so I think either.
But you had the
Rio
rain stick.
Yeah, Mike had a rain stick, and I don't know if it was Mike or me, but we were like, bring a rain stick and just do it on.
Okay, yeah.
I'm stupid. What is a rain stick?
Oh,
it's like the wood. It's just
What is this
like
wizardry?
a hollowed out. It's just a hollowed out piece of wood with like rice in it, and you just like tip it, and it's got that like that kind of twinkly rain sound. So that
Okay,
there's a
I
couple
know what you're talking about. I never knew the name of it. That's cool.
Yeah, at the end of the Sweet Huntress Part 1, there's like kind of like a funky, groovy part, and there's a lot of like added percussion in there. The part's kind of like spacey and different, so I feel like sometimes that stuff gets lost, but it adds a lot, like of texture,
Kurt's a big fan of ping pong delay.
Yeah.
Well, that really saved me with like certain delays, just being able to sort of plug in a certain delay at the exact tempo in Pro Tools rather than rely just on my pedals.
Mhm.
And at the end of the track you brought up, Paul, second to last song, all that delay, none of it is from my pedals. It's all just in Pro Tools, and there's like this ping pong effect. And I single tracked a lot of the guitar in here, which was one thing that I look back on and I'm like, I probably won't do that again. But it added a nice like stereo kind of back and forth to that section. And that was something that was his idea, that like I think it brings a lot to that part because you're hearing kind of the delay come at you from different sides,
Right. I see he always has like a lot of cool gear there now to see in YouTube videos. Did you use like any of his cool shit that he had in house, like his pedals and stuff?
Dude, he had a bucket of pedals. Just these 2 guys were just
the smoke shells, dude. Yeah, I go pedal crazy, and I never used to. I used to just like have this one stupid Digitech multi effects pedal that I still have, and it was actually Ben at one point was like, "Hey, dude, you should probably get like some real pedals." And it's just, I mean, it's an addiction for sure. I mean, I'm still on the addiction, and there are still pedals I have now that I'm like, oh, this wasn't on the record, and I'm like pissed. But no, I bought one of his fuzz pedals. I use countless GodCity instrument pedals, but I only used one guitar. I only used my guitar, and I was surprised at that. I thought I would like switch to his stuff a lot. But I definitely used a lot of his pedals for different parts, even if it was just like one little, chord or something. He's like, oh, this one's got an extra little sparkle, and I'm like, all right, let's get that sparkle. I want that.
Yeah, I'd be like, yes, Kurt, whatever you say.